Mila Kunis has allegedly moved out of the home she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she is aware of the fact that horrible information about Ashton and
The
Diddy
relationship between Diddy and Ashton Kutcher, which started in the early 2000s, has a unique and fascinating beginning. It all began when Kutcher was working on the popular MTV program Punk'd, a celebrity prank show in which celebrities were often the targets of clever jokes and realistic pranks. As both the show's presenter and one of its founders, Kutcher immediately established himself as the genius behind some of the most memorable celebrity pranks. However, Diddy, the music mogul renowned for his audacious and exaggerated demeanor, was one star who did not want to be pranked. Their friendship didn't start like many other Hollywood relationships, as Kutcher disclosed during an interview on the program Hot Ones. Rather, in the height of Punk'd's fame, Diddy contacted Ashton and sent him a direct message. "Don't punk me." Given that Punk'd has gained a reputation for embarrassing some of the greatest personalities in entertainment in front of millions of people, this was a daring move. Diddy wanted to make sure he wouldn't be one of Kutcher's targets, since he is always in charge of his image and is well known for taking his personal and professional branding seriously. A surprising and long-lasting friendship resulted from this audacious plea. Instead of pulling a practical joke on Diddy, Ashton embraced his candor and used it as a chance to build a relationship. Conversations about avoiding a prank on Punk'd led to frequent get-togethers and an enduring friendship. The glitter, glamour, and many industry events are the focal points of most Hollywood friendships. But Kutcher and Diddy's bond extended beyond just going to parties together. Kutcher related a fascinating story about their relationship that took place outside of the usual Hollywood setting. There were times when the two spent time together in more casual settings, like going for a run, rather than rubbing elbows at exclusive A-list gatherings. Diddy's competitive side came to light throughout this round. Kutcher claims that Diddy, known for his exaggerated traits, is just as driven and competitive in social situations as he is at work. Diddy demonstrated his commitment to excellence, even in something as basic as working out, by pushing himself and Kutcher to the limit on this specific run.
He's like, "You gotta slow down, but make it look like you're not slowing down."
Because he had to
I don't want to look like I'm not gonna be able to finish this thing. And he was losing it, right? Like he was like me right now with the wings and the heat.
This dynamic allowed Kutcher to get a peek at Diddy's true self. Their bond has endured despite its improbable inception. According to Kutcher's accounts, Diddy was a music mogul, and Kutcher was an actor. Despite coming from opposite backgrounds, the two men found similar ground in their ideals of ambition, hard work, and competition. As he proceeded to share stories about their relationship, Kutcher emphasized how their bond changed over time, demonstrating that true friendships can form in the most unlikely situations, even in Hollywood. Although the public often sees celebrities at glitzy events or in well-publicized partnerships, friendships like Ashton Kutcher and Diddy's are really defined by their behind-the-scenes activities, such as their competitive runs. Diddy's hard ethic and commitment to his profession, whether it is music, fashion, or commercial endeavors, have been commended by Kutcher in interviews. Intensity and determination are among the traits Kutcher values most in his buddy, and it's evident that Diddy's extravagant attitude permeates every part of his life. Their relationship, which has lasted for over 20 years, developed from a simple plea not to be pranked to a mutual appreciation for one another's achievements. In the end, Ashton Kutcher and Diddy's friendship serves as an example of how Hollywood ties can go beyond simple friendships, based on wealth and celebrity. Over the years, their shared values and respect for each other's drive have kept them close, even though their paths crossed due to celebrity. Additionally, these tales provide viewers a unique window into the personal lives of two of Hollywood's most prosperous individuals, demonstrating that even the greatest stars want supportive friends.
Although going to parties and business gatherings was certainly a component of their relationship, Kutcher clarified that their friendship went beyond that. Outside of the glamorous Hollywood environment, they spent time together jogging and connecting over similar experiences. Diddy was a very motivated and competitive person who takes everything he does seriously, whether it's making hit recordings or going for a jog with a buddy.
However, there were paparazzi all around us at the moment, and he was losing it when he said, "You need to slow down, but make it look like you're not slowing down." Ashton explained how one day, Diddy came over to his house and they decided to go for a run together. About halfway through, Diddy started to struggle to keep up, but with paparazzi all around, Diddy refused to show any weakness and told Ashton, "Right now, with the wings and the heat starting to kick up," he's like, so we finished out the run, and then he was so upset over the fact that he got skunk on this run that year. "I don't want to seem as if I can't do this task, therefore, slow down, but make it appear as though you're not." Ashton chuckled as he related the story, stating that Diddy was completely losing it, but in typical Diddy fashion, he wasn't going to allow the cameras to catch him in a vulnerable moment. This run must have had a significant impact on Diddy because, according to Ashton, Diddy chose to train for and run the New York Marathon that same year. You could sense their rivalry even in casual settings, and it's obvious that this friendship was there. The rapper's larger-than-life persona and wild antics have been overshadowed by recent events. The rapper was arrested in New York on serious charges like racketeering and conspiracy, and Diddy pleaded not guilty and was denied bail, making this case even more high-profile. This was more than just a typical Hollywood connection. The two were pushing each other in various ways, sometimes in front of the cameras and other times behind closed doors. Ashton Kutcher's association with Diddy lasted over a decade, during which he attended many Diddy events. 20 years. On charges of EXT trafficking, racketeering, or bad business practices and transportation to engage in X work, Diddy is currently awaiting trial at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center in New York City. The media and fans were initially shocked by these accusations, but as more information about his personal life became available, people soon began to wonder about the nature of his friendship with Ashton. Suddenly, old stories about their strange friendship began to resurface, and fans started to wonder how
Ashton was cryptic in interviews, hinting at wild parties and nights with Diddy that he couldn't share details about. In one instance, when asked to share some stories about Diddy's legendary parties, Ashton revealed a lot about his friend's lifestyle, beyond the amusing anecdote about running or hanging out. Ashton danced around the topic for a while, before saying, "I can't tell that one. I'm cycling through them, but I really can't tell any of them."
Just encouraged more conjecture. As the case progresses, it's difficult to overlook the timing of Mila Kunis' divorce filing around the time of Diddy's arrest, which has many wondering if Ashton's relationship with Diddy's darker side was genuine. What was he keeping quiet about Diddy's arrest? These unanswered questions are more important than ever. People are now reviewing Ashton's interviews to see if his reluctance to discuss Diddy's parties was an indication that he knew something was wrong all along. Deeper than a simple party. For those of you who don't know, Ashton Kutcher partied a lot with Diddy in the early 2000s. Now, the situation takes a really shocking turn. The alleged discovery of tapes that might have revealed far more than Ashton and Diddy's lighthearted friendship talks began. In addition, Ashton's reluctance to discuss those parties feels much more suspicious. Maybe Mila's discovery of tapes involving Ashton and Diddy is the missing piece in this whole scandal. The specific contents of the tapes have not been made public, but sources claim they paint a very different picture of Ashton that Mila could no longer ignore. Mila Kunis recently discovered these tapes, which were said to contain footage from some of Diddy's well-known parties, which were known for getting out of control, according to the sources. The tapes also reportedly showed Ashton in compromising situations with other men, which Mila obviously never imagined her husband being part of. That in addition to showing Ashton mingling, the recordings could have also seen him engaging in illicit activity, perhaps connecting him to the same divisive group that has now implicated Diddy in a significant scandal. Woo-woo locks on the doors. Well, it seems a little risky now, so I guess Mila can't tell either. This finding might have been the tipping moment. Imagine being caught off guard by something that completely changes your opinion of the person you believe to be Mila, who had supported Ashton.
through thick and thin, but these recordings may have shown that she was no longer able to sustain Ashton for a considerable amount of time. Prior to the alleged release of the tapes, Ashton and Mila seemed to have one of the strongest marriages in Hollywood. Mila was devastated. The couple had already faced intense public scrutiny following the Danny Masterson trial, where they faced criticism for writing letters of support for their convicted co-star. Mila stood by Ashton as they addressed the debate in a public video, but many others questioned whether the stress was already starting to manifest. After all, Mila had already survived one significant scandal with Ashton, but seeing her husband's connections to Diddy's wild lifestyle, particularly during a period when Diddy was the subject of such serious accusations, may have been too much for her to handle. Mila also decided to file for divorce around this time, though some sources indicate that her decision wasn't made abruptly. Was the Masterson scandal, which caused tension in their relationship. When Diddy's arrest made headlines, Ashton's wild nights with Diddy reappeared, adding fuel to the fire. By that point, the feds had given her the tapes, and Mila was finished. She made the decision to end their relationship, but the consequences of the tapes extended beyond their marriage. The couple had just recovered from the Masterson scandal, in which they received harsh criticism for endorsing their ex-partner, and Ashton's reputation was already suffering. Co-star. The public was furious, and many admirers questioned how the pair could stand by someone who had been found guilty of such horrible atrocities. Ashton was particularly under pressure because his work with a child advocacy group felt suddenly hypocritical after the Masterson case, when critics quickly pointed out that his public support of a convicted person didn't match his advocacy work. Shortly after this backlash, Ashton resigned as chairman of Thorne. When Ashton left Thorne, it was WAD. While he claimed it was beneficial for the company, many others said it was also about shielding his own reputation from any kind of criticism at a period when his personal and professional lives seemed to be collapsing. However, with his involvement in 2 consecutive scandals, Ashton's reputation has suffered greatly, and it's not certain whether he will be able to recover. However, Mila has taken the action of filing for divorce, which seems to be her means of protecting herself and removing herself from the turmoil. The news of Ashton Kutcher and Milana's shocking split, which was allegedly fueled by his dubious friendship with Diddy, has sent shockwaves through social media for years. With so much uncertainty surrounding Ashton's involvement in both the Masterson case and Diddy's recent scandal, it's no wonder she decided it was time to step away.